此次。Big hand fire please！ 为热烈掌声欢迎我们的主宾财政部长兼运输局国会议员尚达曼部长为我们致辞。
Selamat tengah hari dan salam sejahtera saya ucapkan pada semua ahli jawatan pasar akar umbi di Jurong Town dan hadirin sekalian. Tan berleh, ada tala patrum, semua telah berleh, unggah lelar kumpulan.各位来宾、同胞们、朋友们、基层领袖们，大家中午好。After the three superb performances, my unplugged version is a bit not so impressive. So please excuse me, but we have a few important things to say this afternoon. I don't want to spend too much time talking about what we have achieved in the last 5 years, although frankly I think we have achieved a lot together in the last 5 years. The Town Council, with the 5 PAP MPs, in the last few years, 4 of us, working together with our grassroots, have achieved something very meaningful, I feel, for our residents throughout Jurong Town, in each of the constituencies and throughout Jurong Town. And the new team in Jurong is going to build on this and do something even better in the next 5 years. What have we achieved in the last 5 years is inside the magazines that everyone has. You can see it all around you. We completed all the interim upgrading programs. In the oldest part of Jurong, which was in Taman Jurong, we also completed the SIRS program. In fact, we had 19 blocks in Taman Jurong that went through SIRS, where the residents obtained brand new flats. Major improvement in their quality of life. Lift upgrading, that was a big program. 417 blocks that we achieved in the last 5 years. There are more blocks that will get lift upgrading and we will complete it soon. Barrier-free accessibility for the older folk and also those who have very young children on prams. Throughout Jurong Town, we completed barrier-free accessibility with the ramps and very convenient walkways throughout Jurong Town by 2010, in fact 1 year ahead of schedule. And I'd like to thank the Town Council led by Mr. Ho Tian Poh for proceeding faster than expected in completing this whole program. 2 big schemes, 2 big recent schemes all over Singapore and in Jurong are the Neighbourhood Renewal Program and the Home Improvement Program. Neighbourhood Renewal Program, we already have 1 major project. In fact, we have 7 projects that are already now still underway in neighbourhood renewal, with many blocks benefiting and many residents benefiting. Better parks, better sports facilities, better exercise equipment, covered linkways, drop-off points, basically a better environment, better quality living environment. And we hope to achieve 10 projects in the next 5 years. 7 already underway and an extra 10 in the next 5 years. This is something which we hope to achieve so that Jurong gets its fair share, and I would say more than its fair share of neighbourhood renewal projects, because Jurong is a mature estate compared to some of the newer estates in Singapore. That's neighbourhood renewal. It brings real benefits for our people. Next, Home Improvement Program. This is a very important program because Jurong is getting older, and if you go into some of our older flats, there are some problems that need fixing. The spalling concrete, some of the work on the pipes, toilets need upgrading, some of the doors also need upgrading. All the maintenance problems to do with older flats are dealt with through the Home Improvement Program, or HIP. It's worth a lot. In fact, for each of the flats, it's about $25,000. And we now have, already we have 1 HIP project in Jurong, and we are hoping for a lot more in the next 5 to 10 years. Of course, this has to be done across Singapore. Geographically, it will be the whole island, but giving priority to the older blocks in older estates and areas where there's strong support for the programs. So we're hoping for strong support for this program and all our other programs so that we can move ahead and make sure that Jurong gets a major makeover in the next 5 to 10 years. All the older parts of Jurong will get a major makeover, refreshing, where each resident will benefit and the whole neighborhood will benefit. We in fact have about 400 blocks in Jurong that we think should receive the HIP program, Home Improvement Program, in the next 10 years. And we are hoping that of these 400 blocks, 60% can be achieved in the next 5 years. Assuming the government budget permits, this is something which we hope to, of course, the PAP MPs hope to be re-elected, and if re-elected, we hope to push the case for Jurong to get its fair share as a mature estate. And I'm confident we can do this. Private estates have not been neglected. Hoover Park has received upgrading already. The upgraded Hoover Park Garden, I've been there myself, in fact, very nice. Madam Halima is very familiar with it. Jogging track, multi-purpose court, reflexology path, something for the children, something for the older folk. That's something we'll keep improving in our private estates, including the drains, the drainage. So we're doing a lot, and we're going to do a lot more, and we will keep an eye on costs. Make sure that whatever we do, we try and keep costs down. And we're doing many things on costs. In fact, we were the first town council to start using LED lighting in order to save money. In fact, it will save us about $1.1 million each year. And we have also saved on the re-roofing of the top of the flats by reusing the secondary roof slabs to save money. We'll continue doing these things. So we're not trying to be fancy and grand. We want to help residents and do it in a low-cost way when we can. We have important plans for the next 5 years. First, of course, Jurong Town Council will have slightly different boundaries in the next 5 years because of the new electoral boundaries. Jurong GRC will, as you all know, include part of Boon Lay, east of Corporation Road, and the Toh Guan area of Bukit Timah. Yu Hua, as you all know, will be a SMC. However, we intend to form Jurong Town Council out of the new Jurong GRC plus Yu Hua SMC combined, if both constituencies return PAP MPs, of course. If PAP MPs are returned, we will combine everything in Jurong Town, Jurong GRC plus Yu Hua SMC, so that Yu Hua will receive the economies of scale that will allow it to keep costs down. That is what we will do in running this town council in the next 5 years. We have a 5-year plan, as I mentioned, and I won't go through all the details because, again, it's in the publication. We will complete lift upgrading soon for all the remaining eligible blocks. We will accelerate the neighborhood renewal program, as I mentioned, and accelerate the home improvement program, $25,000 per flat. Many more blocks and flats are going to receive HIP in the next 5 years. Leisure and exercise facilities throughout Jurong Town. Something for the young, something for the old. This is something we place emphasis on as well. And making sure that our community spaces, places where we can have activities, carnivals, parties, just like we had several this morning, places which are convenient for people to gather and keep our community spirit high. This is very important for us. Multiracial spirit and community spirit. Keep it high in Jurong. The advantage we have is we also have the URA and the government planning the whole of Jurong, what they call the Jurong Lake District, and bringing major new facilities close to us. Ng Teng Fong Hospital and Jurong Community Hospital will be a major boon for residents in Jurong, and we're looking forward to that. Plus, LTA is speeding up the work on the MRT to make sure that we can take many more trains at Jurong East. In fact, that work will be completed quite soon, by middle of this year. Bus services, again, we will be paying more attention to it, making sure that residents wait for a shorter time and the buses are not so crowded. All these things are important. But the most important part of our strategy, is not the facilities and amenities, it's not the hardware, it is the hardware. This is something that the Jurong MPs, led by Minister Lim Boon Heng, previously Dr. Ong Chin Chung, Ms. Grace Fu, Ms. Halimah Yaakob and myself, we spend most of our time on that. Most of our time and energy, together with our grassroots leaders, is spent on helping people and strengthening the community, the hardware of Jurong Town. And that is the way the new team will continue to work for the benefit of residents in Jurong. We will develop the facilities, we will develop better amenities, we'll have HIP, we'll have NRP, we'll have covered walkways, we will do all that. But most of our time, most of our minds, and all our hearts will be spent helping people, helping poor people, helping middle-income people, and bringing people together. I think there's something here about bringing people together. That's our most important strategy. People of different races, people of different backgrounds, all feeling as one. All feeling as one community. How do you say it in Chinese? 观众一心. 观众一心. And that's the way we have been managing Jurong, working with the people, working with our residents, and trying to serve them, and that's the way we will carry on in the next 5 years. So I've reached the end of my short speech, but I really wanted to emphasize that point, that in the next 5 years, we are going to build on what we achieved in the last 5 years, which is not bad, and we make it even better. Hardware, software, hardware, work hard, serve the people, and the rest will sort itself out. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tharman.